It's going to at least be a year before I move abroad. But because I'm a planner, because I love checklists and I love checking things off of said lists, and because I want to be as prepared as I can, I'm getting things in order now or as much as I can. So let's talk about it. One of the things that I'm doing is getting my finances together. That means cutting out expenses I know just won't make sense overseas, reviewing my bank statements, reviewing subscriptions, memberships, and even reining in my frivolous spending. I am guilty of being that late night Amazon shopper, but more recently, it's been TikTok shopping. There's just a lot of interesting things that you can buy on TikTok. But that aside, spending with more intention because I'm also saving aggressively right now because of another thing that I'm working on, which is turning my house into an asset. I am prepping my home to be a rental property. And that means doing a deep cleaning, fixing things that I've kind of been putting off. I just got a new HVAC system last month. And right now, just doing some maintenance so that way I'm not stressed out later when it comes time to actually make the move. So I know the next big thing that I'm working on is getting a new roof. And after that, it's just more so the aesthetic changes to make it more rental, to make it more appealing to be a rental property. But again, trying to do all that now so then that way it's just like a smooth runway to just me being able to move abroad and not have to worry about the house, just having peace of mind when I'm gone. So I figure let's get it all done now so that way it's one less thing off the checklist. Another thing that I'm doing is reviewing financial accounts and credit cards. With the current banks that I'm using now, which ones actually work internationally without any issues. If the banks have maybe a partner bank in the different places I'm looking at moving in Indonesia, Thailand, Japan, if there's, again, partnership banks in those countries. Also looking at my credit card statements or just the credit cards in general to see which ones have no foreign transaction fees, or if they have fees, which one is the lowest fee. I'm pretty good at keeping up with that aspect of it, but the next part is also looking at my credit cards and seeing what kind of perks I have, because I know when I first signed up for the card, they'll have specific perks that you are eligible for and different things that different membership benefits. But over time, as you have these cards, different features fade away, they add more features. And so looking in the year of 2026 and the current credit cards I have, really analyzing, okay, knowing that I am eligible for these membership perks by being a card holder of this certain credit card company. So really looking at that, because if it can also help me with savings, because I'm paying for something that I don't need to pay for since I have it as a perk with my credit card, that, it just makes sense to look into to cut down on expenses. The other thing that I'm doing right now is downsizing and digitizing my life. This part has been bigger than I have expected. When it comes to organizing and looking at different items around the house, I'm thinking, do I actually need this? And if so, is this for the rental property or is this for when I move? I have a goal every week to have a box of just things that I'm either recycling or upcycling or just throwing away. But I do want to try and practice the idea of letting things go before I leave, because I know I'm not going to be able to take everything with me when I move abroad. Fingers crossed, hopefully the universe isn't going to try and humble me when I say this, but I truly want to be able to move with 2 to 3 bags abroad. I don't want to have a ton of things that I'm shipping with me. I literally just want to have 2 or 3 bags with me. And I even say the third bag because of more so cat things than anything else. But I'm channeling basically my inner Marie Kondo, trying to figure out if things are sparking joy. And if they're not sparking joy anymore, just, hey, thanking the item for its service and letting it go. But yeah, so that's what that is looking like. But then also thinking in terms of if it's not supporting the life I'm trying to build right now, away it must go. Or if I must keep it, could I possibly digitize it? And when it comes to digitizing, I have a file cabinet with important documents, but I want to scan those into my drive so I can truly become paperless. I know there's some things that you should probably keep a physical copy of, but I think a majority of the things that I do have in my filing cabinet, it really could be scanned, or quite honestly, it could probably just be shredded and thrown away, quite honestly. But I'm going through that process now of looking at all those documents and scanning them in and adding them to my drive. Whew. Another thing that I'm doing is learning from people who are already in the different places I'm looking to move to. I'm in Facebook groups. I'm talking with people who are actually on the ground, boots on the ground there. Not just doing general Google searches. Google searches, they can give you a good lay of the land, give you an idea of what to expect. But I want the real experiences, the real expectations from people who are living that life day in and day out. And I want to hear about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And then again, just realistic expectations. Moving abroad as a single Black woman, I want to know what that looks like as well. People may say, well, what does race have to do with it, or what does gender have to do with it? If you've never had to navigate that space, considering yourself as a woman or a person of color, congrats. But as a woman, and especially as a Black woman, there are things that I do have to consider. And so I just want to at least be aware, go in eyes wide open to understanding what the cultural norms are like when it comes to people like me. And again, just understanding what that looks like. So I'm not shocked or surprised, because it's a lot to get acclimated to a new country, a new city. So the more prepared you be, the more prepared that I can be, rather, I would feel more comfortable. So that's currently what I'm doing, just making connections in these different groups and meeting new people. Another thing that I'm doing is planning for my cats. Yes, the cats are coming along with me, and it doesn't change anything, but it just adds on an additional layer of planning that I need to consider. Researching the different requirements, the timelines, logistics. Honestly, after doing a quick research on that, it feels like it's more complicated to relocate the cats than myself, quite honestly, as a human. But I don't want to leave this to the last minute, because there are so many different specific timelines and dates that I have to consider based on when I'm actually moving. And so the next couple of months, I'll be talking to a pet relocation service to learn more about the specifics, but just trying to research and understand what that looks like, taking the cat on the plane, how to acclimate them on the plane and during travel, and reducing the stress of travel. All those things have been really interesting in my initial research. All right. So then lastly, this is, I think, the most fun part, honestly, of doing the whole planning for my move abroad, but designing my daily life. I'm thinking beyond the where I'll live, but I'm more so thinking about how I'll be living once I'm there. What will my days look like? What hobbies do I want to explore? When I was a kid, I loved badminton. That was my thing. I love that sport. And I don't have my 10-year-old knees like I did back in the day, but I do want to try and get back involved with that. I do want to write a book one day, so joining creative writing groups, and just in general ways to build community and routine in those different areas to see what's available to me. Because the idea of uprooting your life from something that it's all you've ever known, and you have roots, you have support systems like where I'm at now in America, and then uprooting that and to moving into a new continent, to a new country, a new city where you know absolutely no one, it is quite daunting. And so I would rather, at least to soften that and to acclimatize a little easier, I want to start trying to build those roots now while I'm in America. So then that way, when I do eventually move abroad, okay, I already know what different social groups I want to join. I already know who to talk to about badminton courses. I already know what people, who I should connect with, what things I should be doing. So I don't end up being a hermit in the country that I moved to. So making sure to build those roots now. So again, it'll be just an easier slide into that new country and building that community and that routine that I would need to thrive. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm not just planning a move. When I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking you're actually redesigning your whole entire life. You're simplifying it. I'm detaching from what I don't need. So it's exciting, it's daunting, but I would say it's definitely more exciting than anything else. But that's all I have for you today. For those who may be living abroad now, what is one pro tip you may have for someone getting ready to embark on that journey? And if you're looking to move abroad, what is your number one fear that may be holding you back? All right. So if you're new here, welcome. If you've been to these parts before, welcome back. My name is Moni, and I am creating videos for those looking to redesign their life with intention. I talk about pretty much everything under the sun: entrepreneurship, nonprofit leadership, navigating a 9 to 5 job, travel, dating, moving abroad, all the in between seasons that come with building a full life. I've organized everything into playlists. So if there's a specific topic you're interested in, check the channel page for how to get more information on that. But do me a favor, if this kind of content resonates with you, I'd love it if you will like, share, and subscribe. I post daily, so I'll be right back here tomorrow. But until then, do something that your future self will thank you for. All right? Bye.